Hello, my dear student of class 8. I am your social studies teacher. Today we are going to start chapter 2nd of geography, natural resources, land and soil. Natural resources are crucial for economic development. Land, soil, and water are the most important natural resources as they provide the ground on which other resources developed and conquest economic development is carried out. Of course, skill and technology possessed by the society and the needs of aspirants of the people play a decisive role in this process. Now, there are two important natural resources, land and soil. In the previous chapter, we have already studied about the resources. First, we study about land resources, then we study about soil. So, let's start. The land we stand on is the most important of all natural resources. It includes all other resources such as minerals, forests, and life forms above and below the surface, plants and animals, soil, surface, water, rivers, human settlements, and population. Land cover only about 29% of the surface of the earth. 90% of the world population lives on the 30% part of the land. The remaining land is either very thinly populated or completely uninhabited. Thus, there is uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world. As you can see in this map, the whole land is divided into seven continents, as you know: America, North America, South America, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean, in Asia, Europe, and Australia, and the parts of the Pacific Oceans. The land surface is not same everywhere. There are level plains, uplands, plateau, hills, mountains. Different types of lands presents different types of resources. Therefore, all places are not evenly populated. In addition, the areas with too cold or too hot climates are sparsely populated. The Arctic areas, the deserts, the high mountains are unfavorable for human activity. Hence, there is not where populations are less there. Land use. Land is used for a variety of purposes, such as for agriculture, setting up of industries, building houses, airports, shipbuilding, mining, forestry, construction of roads, construction of railways, offices, etc. The use of land is also determined by the physical factors such as the topography, soil, climate, and minerals availability of water, etc. On the basis of the ownership, the land is divided into two parts: private land and community land. When a piece of land is owned by the person, it is called the private land. Like our house is owned by our fathers, so our house is our private land. Community land is used commonly for collection of fodders, fruits, nuts, medical plants for grazing animals. These community lands are also called the common property resource. When the land is belong to a whole community is called community land. Okay, there is a table given here that describes the land use in the selected countries. In India, as you can see, corporate land is 57% and other uses is 17%, forest is 22%, and pasture is 4%. Land use in India. More than half of our land is used for agriculture, a proportion hardly seen in much countries. The land use data is available only for 93%, as a large part of the northeast and northern part occupied by the Pakistan and China have not been surveyed. Indian land has been put to use for several purposes. Now let's see what are the various utility of land. Land utilization in India. There is a pie chart which shows the land utilization in India. As you can see here, land utilization. Okay, forest 22.57%, barren and wasteland 6.29%, area under non-agricultural use 7.92%, permanent pasture and grazing land 3.45, area under miscellaneous tree crops groves 1.10%, cultivable land wasteland 4.41, current fallow 7.03, net sown area 43.41%. Changing land use. Land use has been changing over the years. Human population has been increasing at an alarming rate and has a demand of land. Humans have modified many parts of the land to meet their needs. As a result, the landscape has changed. Land degradation and land conservation. Now, as we have studied and we know the importance of the land and the uses of the land, how important a land resource is, so we should conserve our land resource as it is the limited resource. Once the land is occupied, it cannot be occupied by some other thing for some other purposes. Once the land is used for agriculture, we cannot open a factory on the same land. So we should conserve our land and we should save land degradation. So let's study what is land degradation and land conservation. Land degradation is any change in the land that reduces its condition or quality and hence its productive potential. The expansion of the population and its demand plus human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining, quarrying, etc. have not only increased pressure on the available land resources but have also brought about degradation of the land as well. The impact of the land degradation is huge. It often leads to the migration and general destruction of the ecosystem. Human beings can control this situation to some extent. It is very expensive to reclaim degraded land. Afforestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, checks on overgrazing, mining, waterlogging of soil, crop rotation, and forests by adopting scientific techniques are some of the measures for conserving land resources. If we adopt these proper land use planning, we can overcome the problem of the land degradation. Now let's study about soil resources. Soil is a thin surface layer of the earth, comprises minerals and particles. I think all you know and all you already studied in previous classes about soil. So here in this class we study about the various types of soils, factors of soil formation, nature of parent rock, the relief topography, the climate, the flora and the fauna, the soil profile. What is soil profile? The various layers found in the soil are called the soil horizons. A vertical section of a soil from the surface to the bedrock below along with the soil horizon is known as soil fossil. Soil profile. The soil profile is different in different places. The main layer or horizon in the soils are topsoil or a horizon, subsoil or a B horizon, topsoil or A horizon, subsoil or B horizon, parent rock or C horizon, or bedrock and D horizon. The topmost layer of the soil is called A horizon, and below that B, and below that C, and last layer is called the D horizon, that is called the bedrock of the soil. Soils in India. Now let's study about the various types of soils that is found in our country India. Number 1, alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is actually the slate that our Himalayan rivers bring from the mountain to the plains. This is the most fertile soil. Next is black soil. Black soil is formed from the volcanic rocks. Next is red soil. Red soil is formed from the old rocks which break down into physical changes. Red soil is less fertile than alluvial soil. Next is laterite soil. Laterite soil is coarse and contains pieces of grave and stones, brownish in color. Next is sandy or called desert soil. The sand and the soil which is found in the desert area, it's called the sandy and the desert soil. Next in mountain soil. The soil is under formation. We can find this type of soil on the Himalayan mountains and vary from the deep alluvium in valleys to high gravelly soil based on the altitude and the vegetations. Okay, so there are major six types of soil which we have seen in our country. Now let's have a recap what we have studied in this chapter today. First, the land use, how land is being used by human beings. The land cover physical elements that cover the land, what is mining, the extraction of the minerals from the inside of the earth, parent rock, soil profile, a vertical cross section of the different horizon of the soil is called soil profile. Land degradation, when land is no longer suitable for agriculture, it is called land is degraded. Okay, thank you class, have a nice day.